Welcome to HRTV's Victory Lap with coverage of the All-Tech FEI World Equestrian Games from the Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Jill Byrne.
And I'm Gil Merrick, broadcasting to you from the floor of the Prevent Feeders International Equestrian Festival, presented by HRTV. And Jill, I was out at the horse park again today. There is so much going on out there. One of the largest pavilions houses the Kentucky Experience.
Yeah, the Kentucky Experience, just one of many things to see out there aside from the horses. And our Victory Lap correspondent Jared Ham was out there and had a chance to take it in. Let's take a look.
Now that the games are in full swing and the Bluegrass State is on a global stage, visitors from around the world have the opportunity to take in the Kentucky Experience.
Come for the horses, stay for the bourbon.
There's so many unique things about Kentucky. We want the visitor to experience all the various tourism aspects of Kentucky. So we have put together an exhibit pavilion, which you're going to see visuals that all 9 tourism regions have come together and created images and artifacts, brought in artifacts from their region. Then we have our product pavilion, which has our wonderful Kentucky crafts, arts and crafts, Kentucky Proud products, and our Kentucky bourbon, Kentucky wines, and our All-Tech beer experiences. Then we have a beautiful courtyard that's designed by one of our own, John Karloftis, our master gardener from Kentucky.
If I ask you questions,
and then we have 64 entertainment acts that are performing in the entertainment pavilion, part of the Kentucky Experience. So in all, we have 4 different pavilions, all very unique, so it is something for the visitor to see and do and come in and partake in.
The Kentucky Experience reminds me of what a great state Kentucky is, what a proud and diverse heritage it has, and there's something here for everyone of all ages, no matter where you're from. I am a volunteer, a loader greeter, but when I'm out of uniform, I hear compliments on the Kentucky hospitality and how friendly everyone is here.
Kind of took us by surprise how popular we would be, but everyone we're hearing from is they just can't believe that the Department of Tourism has put together such a wonderful, wonderful representation of Kentucky throughout the Kentucky Experience. So we're very pleased. The crowds keep pouring in, and we're so happy that we're able to really make Kentucky shine during these 16 days.
All right, guys, your trip to the Kentucky Experience just wouldn't be complete if you don't come out and dip your own bottle of Maker's Mark. I'm gonna do one right now. We'll see how it goes, all right? It's in like this, turn it, and there you go. My own bottle of Maker's Mark right here at the Kentucky Experience. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Boy, that Jared, he sure has it rough, doesn't he?
Well, I hope we have some time to break away from the show and get over there and experience that. There looks like a lot to do over there.
Oh, and I definitely encourage everybody to get over there. You know, it's always a big thing around here, as you know. You spend enough time in Kentucky, Maker's Mark, and being able to check in on the dips, how they do those bottles. And they always do one in Kentucky Blue as well around here.
Oh, that's right. I have seen those.
Well, let's check in with Doug High. He is here on the International Equestrian Festival floor. Doug?
Thank you, guys. Back on the floor here at the International Equestrian Festival. Found our way back to the Bear Animal Health booth with Dr. Scott King. Good to see you, sir.
Doug, good to see you again.
Now, really excited about this. You all came up with a really cool contest, Enjoy the Ride, and you asked for submissions for your story with the horse, and got hundreds of submissions from all over the country, and some of them pretty heartwarming, I understand.
Absolutely. It was a great contest, and it was hard to choose the winner. But you know, the reason we did this, Bear understands that bond between horse and rider and the rider's passion for riding. And we know they want to take care of these horses the best that they can.
There was one out of these hundreds that sort of jumped off the pile and became your winner. Can you tell us a little bit about what you saw, that initial reading?
Right. We had hundreds of entries into this contest, the Enjoy the Ride contest, and we had a team from Bear that was judging all of the entries, 150 words, and it was really difficult to pick the winner. And we were all practically in tears reading these stories of how horse owners are providing this wonderful love and care to their horses. But there was one that stood out above all the rest, and that we all pretty much agreed on was the winning entry, and that was Lisa Ross and her story with her horse, Rio.
And we're fortunate, thanks to the good people at Bear, to have Lisa Ross here at the International Equestrian Festival. Let's give a listen to her story.
Well, I'm a two-time cancer survivor. I was, I had just turned 40 a few years ago. Life was wonderful. I was at a horse show, and it was a Saturday, and I got the call from my doctor saying that I had cancer. And like probably most cancer patients, or when they receive that news, you are just in such a state of shock that I didn't talk to anybody. I went right to my horse. His name is Rio. His name is Rio's Last Prayer is his full name. And I went right to him, put my arms around his neck and said, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And he looked at me and I said, I can do it, I can fight it. And the battle started there. Going through the surgery, going through the chemo, going through the, all the side effects and stuff, just that anxiety alone is enough to put someone over the edge. And my horse is the one. I mean, he's the one that got me through it all.
Wow, Scott, I can see why this was the winner. What a wonderful story of Lisa and her horse Rio.
Yeah, it really is. And this is just one of those things that Bear likes to continue to do to support the horse industry and recognize these great people like Lisa out there. So we enjoy continuing to give back to the horse industry and support it like this.
Well, we all appreciate Bear's support, Scott. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave.
We're going to send things to break, but HRTV's Victory Lap continues right after this. HRTV's Victory Lap is brought to you by Prevent Feeders.
Welcome back to HRTV's Victory Lap. And Gil, anybody who's been watching this show knows that I have a little bit of an infatuation with a horse by the name of Ravel.
Well, it's easy to see why. He's a special horse. And I had a chance today to catch up with the person who takes care of Ravel on a daily basis. He's been his groom for the past several years and traveled all over the world with the horse. His name's Rafael Hernandez. Let's check in with Rafa. All right, well, I'm sure that our viewers would be interested to know a little something about Ravel that maybe nobody else knows. Does he have any fun barn quirks or a favorite treat or something that makes him...
well, the treat he eats is like without sugar. It's a Triple Crown treats. He's a little bit spoiled. He gets a little grumpy when you don't give anything to him. And other than that, it's a normal horse.
He's a normal horse.
Yeah.
And how's he feeling today? Is he relaxed and his normal cheerful self?
He's ready to go. He's ready to go. I mean, he wants to go in the ring and do his job.
Yeah. And what was your day like today? How did your day start, and what have you been working on?
Start like early in the morning, like normal day, like 5 o'clock in the morning, like do the whole process, feeding, clean the stall, check him, and then have the horse ready for the jog.
Does he have a nickname?
I call him Ravel all the time by his real name. Many people call him Ravelino, but I always call him Ravel. So
yeah. Do you play him Ravel's music when you're in the barns?
Sometimes, but sometimes it's funny because when I hear the music on the radio, I'm like, that's the freestyle for my horse. Like some parts, and I'm like, came to my mind all the time.
From the composer Ravel?
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
So it's always something, Like when I go out with Stefan, it's like, here we go again, I mean, let's do it again. So that's the only thing we do, keep going.
Super. Does he know your voice?
Of course. Always I do like, and he turn around right away. He knows I'm there. So even when we're walking together, like if he gets a little spooky in some places, I'm started, and he came to me and he's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Well, you're his buddy. He spends more time with you than any other person.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend is a little bit jealous about that.
Yeah. Thank you for the time, Rafa. It's great to see you. And best of luck, and go out there and win us some medals.
Anytime.
Well, Jill, Stefan and Ravel won the first individual medal for an American rider at a world championship the day before yesterday. They got the bronze medal for the U.S. And tonight is the freestyle championship where the horses and riders go into the stadium. It's sold out tonight, and under the lights, it's what they sometimes refer to as horse ballet, where the horses dance to music to a special choreographed ride.
A little dancing tonight. Well, speaking of dancing, those of you regular viewers of HRTV know the great undefeated queen of horse racing, that is Zenyatta. She will look to go 19 victories in a row tomorrow out in California. Well, she has a little dance of her own that she does. Zenyatta, known for putting on quite a show before she puts on her show on the racetrack. She dances around the paddock. She dances in the post parade in sort of a very similar of a dressage type of high stepping, and just plays to the crowd as well. She is not only a superstar on the racetrack, but she is a superstar for the fans. And Gil, she is all of 17 hands high. She is an Amazon, and she is charismatic, and not only that, she is fast. So the queen, Zenyatta. Well, this weekend will be a huge weekend in the horse racing world, as a lot of horses looking to take that next step to our championships, which is the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships right here at Louisville, Kentucky in November.
That's right. And now we're joined in the studio by Dan Wall, the Executive Director of the National Reining Horse Association. Dan, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
We're coming off an incredibly successful World Games. For the third time, our team has won the gold medal. We've also won an individual gold and an individual silver. Can you tell us something about the horses and riders that are competing here and the role that the NRHA plays?
Well, in short, the competition has been absolutely phenomenal. We're so happy that the quality of the competition has improved. From the very first games we did in Jerez, Spain in 2002 to 2006 in Aachen, the quality of the competition has improved so much. And I can tell you, they had the U.S. team sweating a little bit. Now, they kind of ran away with it in the end, but the international riders brought some very talented horses and some very talented riders, and they made it a competition down to the very end.
I think that's what a lot of people, they see the cowboy hats, cowboy, it's all American. This has always been considered an American sport, but as you mentioned, international interest in this is just huge now.
It has been. In fact, reining was born, bred, and raised right here in the States, and kind of grew across from the eastern part of the country to west, and then exploded internationally. And over the past several years, in fact, the world champion NRHA rider on the open and non-pro scene has been an international competitor. So the international competitors are catching up very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because we hear about the Europeans, and we're usually in the context of show jumping and dressage and the more traditional English disciplines, but I understand that they are buying our horses and bringing over our best trainers, and that they are out to top us in the competition ring.
Well, if you saw from the competition in the team and in the individual freestyle last night, Anke van Groensman is just fallen in love with reining. And she's a huge advocate for the sport internationally. And of course, with her popularity in the dressage world in Europe, she's been just a tremendous voice for us. But the big thing for us is to continue to grow the sport all around the world. We know here in North America, Brazil, Mexico, Western Europe, and down into Australia now, we've had extremely successful growth. But we're looking not only to grow the sport, continue to grow the sport internationally, but we're also looking to focus on the national level. How can we bring new people into the sport of reining? We know the lifestyle is what attracts people, both nationally and internationally. They love the hat, they love the boots.
Cowboy's always been the romantic side.
The American cowboy,
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody likes to associate with that. But when you come to a reining event, that may be what draws you, but it is the camaraderie. It's the type of people you get to associate, the fun atmosphere. And so we're looking at now, how can we take that atmosphere and make it more accessible to new people in the horse industry?
Well, congratulations on all the success of Team USA here at the World Equestrian Games, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
HRTV's Victory Lap will be right back after this.
Nothing says I love you like effective flea control. Show your dog you really care with Advantage.
Welcome back to HRTV's Victory Lap. Great to have you with us. You know, Jill, we put so much of our attention for this broadcast on the sport horses and the competition and the race horses that we spend all of our time with, but I understand you had an opportunity today to visit somebody who's working in a whole different sector of the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I went a little Hollywood today. I went down to see Rex Peterson, who works with the Hollywood horses, the four-legged actors, and really teaches these horses a lot of things. So let's go take a look at Rex and his Hollywood equines.
It's a great event. You know, it brought a lot of different things into Lexington, some things people haven't seen before. You know, like the Hollywood horses, unless you're around Hollywood, you never see these horses, never realize that somebody is behind camera directing these horses at all times. We have 2 of the Hollywood horses here today. This horse, RJ Masterbug from Hidalgo, and then I have the chestnut horse here that played in Dreamer. He just came off of Arthur, 7 Days in Utopia, Temple Grandin. He was in Secretariat, played Secretariat's mother, so he's been on several films.
For the 1 hour a day I ask for their attention, I demand it. I don't beg for it, I don't plead for it.
You know, I preach manners. Manners, manners, manners. They must have manners. They're 10 times bigger than you and I. They're 10 times stronger. They play 10 times rougher. So I'm adamant to teach manners. And it makes any difference what the horse is. If he's a driving horse, he's a riding horse, he's a dressage horse, he's a reining horse, he's a cutting horse. I've been very, very fortunate in my career. I started in the rodeos, Wild West shows, trick riding and Roman riding.
To do the fight, to do the drag, to do the lay down, I had 7 weeks, plus having broke the ride, and not for me to ride.
When I bought this particular horse, he was in College Station, Texas, he was unbroke, and he was a little bit of a handful. And I called my partner and said, I just bought a horse in Texas. I give a lot of money for him, and he's unbroke, a 3-year-old stud. And he says, are you out of your ever-living mind? We have to be in front of camera in 7 weeks. And I go, yeah, we do. 2 weeks after filming started, he goes, if you hadn't have got that horse, we'd have been in trouble. Because everything fast and furious, running through the moss, through 500 extras, was this horse. Running across a tent full of soldiers was this horse. And all the stuff that fighting a leopard, that was this horse. There's several good riders. Robert Duvall's a very good rider, just worked with in Utopia, Texas. Viggo Mortensen's a very good rider. Tom Selleck, I mean, the list goes on and on. Yeah, there's not Ben Johnson anymore, but there's several actors that are good riders. Viggo, when I started Hidalgo, I had no idea. He shows up the first day and I said, Pard, how do you ride? I ride all right. Put him on a horse, makes 2 laps around pin, and I said, partner, you lied to me. You ride really good. But I didn't know really who he was when we started, and Viggo and I become very good friends. He's an excellent rider. But, you know, I worked with Matt Damon. Matt Damon worked on all the pretty horses, becoming a good horseman, and done 90% of his own work. So, you know, who's the best? I don't know. There's a lot of them that are pretty dang good now.
Oh, Hollywood. You know, I bet Rex enjoys working with the 4-legged actors probably a little bit more than the 2-legged ones.
I can imagine be just a little bit less temperamental.
Well, you know, with all performance athletes and equines especially, it is very important that they are taken care of properly. And right now we are pleased to be joined on the set by Brad Versimak, who is the equine nutrition specialist for Nutrena. Brad, welcome to the set.
Thanks, Jill.
And as far as, you know, so many different performance athletes out there, horses of the equine, obviously kind that you are responsible for, do they get different nutrition per level of performance, like race horses to the casual show horse?
Oh, absolutely, and you know, even within disciplines. There's lots of different requirements just among the dressage or the racehorse disciplines. So we've got a really good program that we can dial that in and specialize, make a specialized ration for each of those athletes that meets their individual needs and helps them reach their top performance.
I know there's a lot of science behind the nutrition of horses, and it's been studied, I think, for decades, and it's really it's quite an art to come up with the right formulation for each horse. Someone who owns a horse that might be for recreational purposes, maybe a backyard horse, how do they access information about nutrition so they can understand how it relates to their own horse?
That's a great question. We've got our website, NutrinaWorld.com. Folks can access that, fill out a brief questionnaire. They can find a local feed store in the areas where they live. They can also send in a request to have someone like myself visit with them personally and put together a program that's tailored for their individual needs, what they do, the amount of activity that their horse is under, and it relates also to the specific feeds that are available in their area. There's a lot of difference in forage from one end of this great land to the other. So
well, we appreciate you joining us here and giving all that very important information out to our viewers, and make sure you can always check out about Nutrena and learn all about the equine nutrition. And we will be back with more on HRTV's Victory Lap right after this.
For flea control that works, give your beloved feline Advantage, the flea treatment that's the cat's meow.
Welcome back to HRTV's Victory Lap. And Gil, as we've been mentioning here at the International Equestrian Festival, so much to do, and not all of it necessarily involves the four-legged athlete.
That's right, and some of it can even go on the borderline of being a little bit dangerous.
Let's check in with Doug and see what he is up to.
Well, thank you, guys. We're out here on the show floor of the International Equestrian Festival in downtown Lexington, hanging out with Bass Blades. Guys, good to see you.
You too.
Be here.
How's the show treating you so far?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
We're enjoying our time here, meeting lots of people.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about the equestrian lifestyle, and that you don't necessarily have to own a horse or own a big horse farm to come on down and enjoy the International Equestrian Festival, and your booth is proof positive of that.
Oh yes,
Right.
very, very. We have something that is completely different than what most people are used to.
So tell us, Kirk, what's going on over here?
Well, in our booth, what we have is knife throwing.
Knives, okay.
You can,
big knives.
Oh yeah, big knives, small knives, depending on what you need.
So folks can actually stop by, sign up for a lesson, and you'll take them through a quick tutorial on how to do this.
I'll teach them how to throw. I am a certified thrown weapons instructor with the International Knife Throwers Hall of Fame.
Okay. Safety first, very important.
Yes, definitely safety first. That way I have been taught how to teach people how to throw knives safely and easily. So if you stop by generally within 5 or 6 knives, I can have you sticking a knife.
Okay, and I'm proof positive of that. We did some a little earlier, and I got to tell you, it's a liberating experience. It felt good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's a lot of fun.
Kirk, for the camera, why don't you just knock a few back into this wall if we can.
To.
Let's take a look at this. Nice. Look at that. Wow. Now that's a pattern.
That's a grouping. That's a good grouping.
I didn't fare quite as well as that, but again, you are the professional.
Well, yeah, you could probably say that.
Okay. Now, Melody, what's this wall about over here?
This is...
Let's take a look at this.
This is the target board. Yeah, you know
Okay.
what? I think...
I see quite a few hits here. There's a little bit of, whoa, look at that.
Yeah,
now, what happened there?
That's where he was trying to get a knife in there. But you know what? I think this would be a really great place for you to stand for just a few minutes.
Okay,
there.
all right. Wow, reporting from the International Equestrian Festival. I'm Doug High. We'll send it back to you guys.
Well, you know, Jill, I think I'll stick with horses for my recreational activities.
I'm with you, but you know, there is a lot to do out here at the International Equestrian Festival, and of course, we are far from done out at the Alltech FEI World Equestrian Games. Here's what's happening tomorrow.
As well as the Prevent Feeders International Equestrian Festival presented by HRTV.
Well, as you can see, so much more to come from the World Equestrian Games. For HRTV's Victory Lap, I'm Jill Byrne.
And I'm Gil Merrick at the International Equestrian Festival. Thanks for watching. See you next time.